I hope that music hyped you up as much as it hyped me up. That was the first time we've run some music in that intro. Welcome, mountain athletes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining from around the world. High five for showing up and doing some breathing with me. I'm happy that you're here. I got to figure out how to continue that audio so that we can, I don't know, maybe use it during our sessions. Anyway, in today's breathwork training session, find yourself a seat. You can grab your yoga mat. We are going to maybe have an option for you to drop down on the yoga mat and do some breathing. But at the very least, I want you in a seat. While you make your way there, I want to introduce myself, especially if it's been a while. My name is Anthony LaRubia. I'm the founder and head coach here at Recal Training. If this is the first time that you're back to a session with me, you may notice some things have changed. I hope that that's for the better, but you might also notice that your breath really hasn't changed. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. Pretty simple and straightforward. Whatever you're up to these days, I want to welcome you. We have created an all-out focus on high altitude breathwork training. So we to date have helped hundreds of athletes climb some of the highest mountains in the world and finish some of the most challenging ultra marathons. And in our Monday morning breathwork training sessions, we focus on recovery. So whether you're training for something or not, this session should be appropriate for you. We're going to drop into recovery focused breathwork training, increase oxygenation in the body. That includes the blood and the muscle tissue for recovery. And we're going to be focused on a bit of mindset training as well. So for the next 20 minutes or so, buckle up with me and enjoy your breathwork training session. We're going to begin in that seated position with a few physiological sighs. If this is the first time doing this with me in a while, I'll guide you through it now. Take an inhale through your nose. Pause just for a moment and then sniff in again through the nose. That little jolt to fill up the lungs. Then exhale through your mouth. Great job. Let's take another inhale. Pause. Jolt. Exhale. One more time as we settle in. Inhale. Pause. In again. Exhale with a sigh of relief. Nice job. We're going to do a little nose unblocking exercise to open up that nasal airway. Take an inhale through your nose and then a normal exhale. Pinch your nose and hold your breath. Gently nod your head up and down. You're bringing your attention inward for the next 20 minutes with me. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Release your nose. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe normally. We're going to do that 2 more times. Take another inhale. Natural exhale. Pinch and hold and nod your head. Begin that meditation. You're feeling your head move, feeling your neck muscles activate. You're maybe starting to notice some air hunger. Continue to hold for 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Release your nose. Breathe in through your nose right after. That helps bring in nitric oxide into the lungs. That helps dilate blood vessels to get blood and oxygen flowing. It also helps oxygen get through the alveoli and into the bloodstream. It's kind of like grease on the gears. Let's do that just one more time. Take an inhale and an exhale. Pinch, hold, nod your head. We're going for a medium level of air hunger. Maybe that's now for you. 3, 2, 1. Release, breathe in. Nice job. I want you to shake out your body whatever way feels right. Maybe bring your hands up above your head. Maybe act like you're climbing a rope just to open up these intercostal muscles in your rib cage. Good. Continue to stretch, maybe bigger each and every time. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I want you to massage out your rib cage. We're going to breathe pretty deeply here. In a little bit, we're going to do something called a 3-part breath to use our full lung capacity and get as much oxygen into the blood as possible. So I just want these muscles, the rib cage, to be warmed up. Good. Let's do a little test. We haven't done a test in a while. This test is called the carbon dioxide tolerance test. It's very simple. You're going to take a very deep inhale through your nose, fill up your lungs as much as you can, and then you're going to take a very slow exhale. You're trying to extend this exhale as long as you possibly can. And whenever you get to the point that you've extended it as long as you can, take a look at the screen. I'm going to be showing a little timer. And that time on the screen is something called your carbon dioxide tolerance test. This is also known as a stress test. So if you're feeling stress, this is another metric that you can use to just gauge that stress. I'm going to share. Did it come through? Okay, it came through. Cool. So you guys can see that timer on the screen. All right, with me. Take a normal breath to begin. In through the nose, out through the nose. And now begin that deep inhale. Filling up, filling up, filling up. And now begin that slow exhale. Keep the mouth closed. Maybe focus on a little throat lock to control the air as you're barely exhaling. Throat lock, kind of like you're trying to fog up a mirror, but your mouth is closed. Extend this exhale as long as you possibly can. And as it becomes challenging, try to just relax. Work with this stress of breathlessness. And whenever you need to take a new breath, just make a note of the time that's on the screen. You're doing great. If you're done, just relax and breathe normally. I'm going to let the timer run for another 15 seconds or so. 5 more seconds on the timer. If you're still going, awesome job. You have at least a 70-second carbon dioxide tolerance test. All right. So that is, again, the carbon dioxide tolerance test. It's a part of something that we use here at Recal called the Recal Breath Index Assessment. If you're curious to see how well you breathe personally, take 5 minutes. Carbon dioxide tolerance test is one of 5 different metrics that we use in that. That QR code that you can see here is a quick way to access that assessment, or just assessment.recal.training. Free, 5 minutes, gives you a really great idea how well you breathe. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to do something now called breathe light. If you've been training with me for a while, you're familiar with this, and I'm sure this is your favorite. I want you to place your pointer finger just beneath your nose, resting on your upper lip. Relax your shoulders. Let's take a couple of deep breaths to begin. In and out through the nose, just to feel that air come in and out, and also to uptick the blood oxygen saturation level. So take that deep series of breaths. As you take these breaths through the nose, feel that air run across your finger on the way in, then maybe some more moist air, some warmer air, humidified air, come back out across your finger on the way out of your nose. Take 2 more deep breaths with me. Take 1 more with me. Now begin to slow down your breathing. True to the name, breathe light. We're going to breathe lighter and more slowly than you normally would. And you can use your finger as your guide. I want you to inhale so slowly that you can barely feel the air as it runs across your finger on the way in, and barely feel the air as it runs back out across your finger on the way out. And as you slow down your breathing, Maybe you start to feel that sensation of air hunger. That's a feeling like you need to take a bigger breath. That's a sign in your body right now that your carbon dioxide levels have risen. And why that's advantageous for us in recovery is after doing a few big breaths to get oxygen into the blood, that carbon dioxide in the blood helps the oxygen to get off of our red blood cells and into the muscle tissue. This helps promote recovery. Let's continue to breathe very slowly and lightly for the next 40 seconds. Do your best to control your breathing on the way in, very slow and light, smaller breaths than you normally would take in, and then relaxed, slow exhale. You're doing great. We've got about 15 more seconds. If your breathing has become too erratic, take a couple of normal breaths and then drop back in with us when you can. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. You can relax now. Breathe normally here. Nice job. That is breathe light. And we used it in a way that helped get oxygen into the blood and then into the muscle tissue to help promote recovery. Let's do something now. It's kind of like a cleansing breathwork protocol. This is called exhale pulsations. This is what we use sometimes when we're trying to train our expiratory muscles in our high altitude mountain athlete focused breathwork training. Exhale pulsations is very simple. From that seated position, put one hand on your belly. I'm going to maybe stand here, I guess. I hope you can hear me. One hand on your lower belly. And I want you to focus on taking very short, quick exhale pulsations through your nose. Okay? If you have a tissue or a sleeve or something, get ready. This might get a little snotty out there. But the point is, the focus is only on that sharp exhale. I want you to then relax to allow air to fill back up in your lungs, almost reflexively. It's like a reflex that inhale happens. When you exhale, you're changing the pressure inside your lungs. The inhale should happen naturally as almost like a recoil. As your rib cage relaxes again, it should automatically reinflate your lungs. We're going to do this for about 60 short pulsations. Don't worry if you don't look exactly like I do as you do it, but I do want you to focus only on the exhale, allowing the inhale to happen naturally. Continue for maybe 30 more now. You should focus on the abdomen space being the place where most of that pressure is happening on the exhale, and then relax the abdomen and allow your rib cage to pop back open. Let's go for 5 more. Nice. Take a deep inhale now. Exhale through your mouth and let it go. Maybe you can get a sense for why they call this the cleansing breath, right? If that was hard for you, I have a little cue that might help, and that is try less hard. So many times when I'm coaching athletes to do exhale pulsations, they're focused so hard on the exhale, but I want you to just relax a bit more, especially on the inhale, and that allows this exercise to flow a bit better. So maybe try that on your own sometime. So that is a little demo of exhale pulsations. It helps to train our expiratory muscles, which are very important, especially when we're trying to pressure breathe to keep oxygen saturation levels higher at high altitude. Okay, let's move on to our last breathwork protocol. This is called the 3-part breath. Again, from that seated position, or if you want to, you can hop down to your yoga mat, laying down on the ground, ideally with your feet flat on the ground, your knees forming like a 90-degree angle. That'd be a good position for this. The 3-part breath is very simple. With one hand up on your chest, one hand on your belly, I want you to very simply begin to inhale first part into your belly, second part into your chest. Exhale through your mouth and just let the air go. So again, part 1 into the belly, part 2 into the chest, part 3, let it go. Let's continue for about 8 more. Just a warning, you might feel a bit lightheaded as you're intentionally hyperventilating here. If that feels uncomfortable to you, just slow down your breathing. That should make those symptoms go away. Let's go for 8 more. You can make these 3 distinct parts. Great job. Inhale belly. Inhale chest. Exhale mouth. Let's go for 3 more. 2 more. You can do it. Just 1 more. And on this exhale, let it go. And now hold your breath. After that exhale, relax your body. Clear your mind. Just observe what's happening in the body. Notice any sensations happening. Maybe some flowing energy feeling in the legs, feet, midsection, chest, arms, hands. Wherever you feel those sensations, just observe. Let's continue to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep inhale with me. And hold your breath at the top. Just notice if you can feel your heartbeat a bit faster here. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Let that air go. Nice job. That is the 3-part breath, round 1. We're going to do the 3-part breath, round 2, here now. Same exact thing. 1 hand on the chest, 1 hand on the belly. Breathe deeply in through the nose into the belly. Chest. Exhale through the mouth. Nice job. Again, in, out, in, out. Continue on at your own pace, focused on pulling the air into the belly first, then the chest. Exhale and let the air go. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe bring as much presence as you can to this current moment as you're solely focused on breathing. You're doing great. We are increasing the oxygen levels in the blood here. Let's take 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. This is your last one. Deeply in again, out with a sigh, and now hold your breath. We're going to try to hold our breath here for quite a bit longer. And as we hold the breath, what I want to happen inside your body is your carbon dioxide levels to build back up slowly. That's going to help, again, promote that oxygen getting into the muscle tissue. But as you hold, just observe your body. What's happening right now? If you're holding on to any tension anywhere in your body, send the message to that space to try to relax. If you're still holding with me, great job. We're going to continue for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep inhale. Hold your breath at the top. Just observe your body. We're holding for 3, 2, 1. Exhale and let it go. Keep your eyes closed here. Allow your natural breathing to come back to you. I have a very simple question for you. How can you use your breath to be your guide when you're out there training for whatever challenge that you've set for yourself? Envision those tough moments, whether that's in the gym, on the trail, on the climbing wall, or on the mountain directly. This is a deeply personal question. When do you find are the toughest moments for you in those challenging settings? And now ask yourself that question again. How can I use breath, my own breathing, to be my guide during those moments? Maybe if you're feeling out of breath, you just can't catch your breath, and you're maybe starting to even panic a bit. Maybe try that physiological sigh that we did at the beginning of today's training session. We'll actually end with a series of those now, just to feel it once more. So, again, that physiological sigh, it begins with a normal inhale through your nose, a short pause, and then a jolt of air again through the nose, and then an exhale through your mouth. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, pause, sniff in again, exhale. One more time. Inhale, pause, sniff, exhale. Whenever you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Come back to noticing the space around you. Hopefully, you enjoyed that little grounding meditation at the end, little mindset training, trying to visualize those tough moments on the mountain in training, all those situations where we might face high levels of stress. How can our breathing be our companion, our coach, our guide in those moments? I want to thank you once again for joining today's breathwork training session. Just a reminder, again, if you're curious about how well you breathe, whether that's biomechanically or biochemically, how we exchange oxygen, CO2, how we exactly utilize that oxygen in and throughout our body, take that. I keep pointing to the wrong side. Take this assessment. It just takes 5 minutes. It's called the Recal Breath Index. It will give you a great idea on how well you breathe and the specific areas where you can focus on training, targeted protocols. I will send you some of those once we know where your weakest parts are of your breathing. That way you're well on your way to better breathing mechanics. Once again, I'm Anthony LaRubia from here at Recal. Whatever your goal is on the mountain, my goal is to help you train smarter and climb higher and achieve that goal. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks for joining, everybody. Take care. Bye.